Hey, family. Welcome to the African Ancestry Experience. This is where we discuss what it means to know where you're from, what it means to transform the way you view yourself as a Black person, and the way you view Africa. On tonight's show, we've collected all of the questions that you put in our social chats for this special edition of Ask Dr. Gina Anything. I think we mean anything. We'll see. You don't want to miss this, so stay tuned because I want to know ya.
I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia. I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria, Bioko Island, Liberia. I wanna know ya.
The African Ancestry Experience is all about sharing identity-focused conversations within the African diaspora. Trace your DNA, find your roots, and explore who you are. Now, if you're in the house tonight, I want you to put a helix, a DNA symbol emoji in the comments to show us some love, okay? And if you're AAOC fam, put your country's flag in the chat. Let me know you're up in here, up in here. Give yourselves a hand clap, y'all. The AAOC is nearly 10,000 deep. Can you believe that? Y'all are in there strong. And I see you in here. I see everybody. I am Vote, Antoine, Wendy's in the house. Wendy, you joining me tonight? We got Lanita's here, Twana, King Joseph as usual. Hey, Michael, friend, Yolanda, Annette. Listen, I'm so happy to see y'all. Darnell Clayton. Somebody asked me, did I know somebody named Darnell? And I was like, Darnell Clayton? But it wasn't you, because that person lives in DC, not in South Carolina. I'm not going to tell everybody where you live. Anyway, let me stop playing. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm really trying to understand, though, for real, Wendy, are you joining me? Because you're on the screen. If you're on the screen, I was like, oh, she's going to help me out in front of the camera tonight. Psych. Okay, so what is the AAOC? You guys want to know what the AAOC is? It's a private group for people who've already taken one of our tests. So membership has its privileges. You have to have taken a test. So when you join, you have to provide your test taker name and your 7-digit KIT ID number. You have to answer the membership questions because Ty, our community manager, she don't play. So it might take up to 3 to 5 days to get approved. And she wanted me to make sure you guys are clear that no customer service requests are going to be honored in the AAOC. So if you have a customer service request, you need to send it to info@africanancestry.com. But many of you guys are at different stages of your African ancestry journey, right? So we have something for everybody. If you want to know what we're about, you can go to our website and learn more. And then for those who decide that they know where they're from and now they want to travel, we got something for you. If you are an OG, then you're having conversations in the AAOC. So there's something for everybody. Now, as you guys know, every Wednesday we give away swag to the first person to join us after 7 p.m. And Annetta, congratulations. Welcome and congratulations. Since we're all about filling that Africa void, if you've been following us, you know about that. You are winning the Remember Who You Are study guide. So congratulations to you. Now, you guys, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, turn on the notifications so you won't miss a single episode. Shout out to Lisa Hayes, who's watching in the replay. She came on at like 6:30 and was like, I'm not going to be able to be there tonight, but I'm going to watch it in the replay. So shout out to you, Lisa. Thank you for joining us. If you didn't win tonight, none of y'all won. The only person who won was Annetta. But you're still in luck, because did you know we're giving away a free African Ancestry test kits? Actually, we're giving away 5 free African Ancestry test kits. Yeah, I didn't stutter. 5 free kits. That's a $2.99 value. So you can be one of our 5 lucky winners who rediscovers the connection to your African roots. And you, if you're a customer, if you're a member of the family already, just trace another branch of your tree. If you've done the matriclan, you found your mother's ancestry. Now you could, if you win, when you win, you can trace your father's mother's ancestry. You got options. Or you can give it to a friend. You can give it to your spouse. Pay it forward. Just enter, okay? Just enter the competition. You have until the end of the day on Sunday to get it in. Wendy is putting the link in the chat, and go for it. Okay, so what are we going to talk about tonight? Look, we've collected some of your most pressing questions from social media, and there were a lot of them. But first, I want to shout out two amazing sisters who are proving that there's nothing like a little Black girl magic. First of all, our heartfelt congratulations to African Ancestry's own Cheryl Lee Ralph. Have you guys seen all the clips of her acceptance speech for her Emmy that she won the other night for Best Supporting Actress in a comedy series? Man, talk about powerful. Man, I'm not surprised, though, because she's a dope individual. Her bloodline hails from the Tikar people of Cameroon, who you've heard me say before are the artists and the artisans of the community or of the culture. And she is definitely representative of the Tikar people. And we actually traveled together in 2011 with 90 other people who we traced to Cameroon, to the country of Cameroon. She and her husband traveled with us. So, yeah, I'm really happy for her. She's been waiting a long time for that award. Now, we still have limited spaces on our trips. Sierra Leone is completely sold out, but you can still roll with us to Ghana, and you don't have to be from Ghana to come with us on the Ghana trip. And this isn't going to be like, you know, the regular trips where you just go and you go to the door of no return or door of return at Cape Coast or Elmina and, you know, do the sites in Accra. No, we're going all over the country. And so if you do have Ghanaian ancestry, then you're going to be able to have some culturally immersive activities, I would say, or experiences with your ethnic group. So that's how we're doing that. So I welcome anybody who's taking a test can join us. And if you're waiting for your results and you're scheduled to have them around, I think we're going October 22nd, then you may want to come and find out where you're from while you're on the continent. I think that would be pretty dope. So yeah, Ghana is October. It's actually changed to October 22nd. Wendy didn't know that. And we're going to Cameroon March 12th through the 25th. And I swear to God, as much as y'all Cameroonians have been talking, I want to see every last one of y'all on the trip talking about when we're going to Cameroon, when we're going to Cameroon. So I hope that you join us. And if you missed last night's information call for the Cameroon trip, it's in our playback theater. So you can just follow the link that Wendy puts in the chat and check that out. Diallo breaks it all the way down. She said, yep, me. Travel.africanancestry.com is where you go. Now, I'm trying something different tonight. As you guys know, for the next few weeks, we've invited some of the most brilliant minds to join us here at the African Ancestry Experience to help us dissect how the Africa Void impacts our family values, our self-love, spirituality, education, all kinds of things, right? The Africa Void is everywhere. But for context, let me just remind you of our definition of the Africa Void, which is the hollow or empty space, state of being without knowledge of Africa or connection to Africa. And ever since we kind of coined that phrase, all these examples of the Africa Void have just been staring us in our face. We're about to create a new Slack channel in our company just for those examples. But that self-love piece is especially huge when we live in this society that doesn't represent us in meaningful ways, let alone value our beauty. Have you guys seen any of those trailer videos floating around on social media showing all our little girls' reactions to the beautiful and talented Halle Bailey? Is that how you say her name? Is it Haley, or I don't know how you pronounce her first name, but she's made history as Disney's first Black actress to play Ariel, the mermaid. Look, if you haven't seen it, go over to YouTube, African Ancestry DNA YouTube channel, because just like Cheryl Lee Rouse acceptance speech was just spellbinding. That's what it is to watch these little girls figure out that, in fact, there is a Black mermaid. What? We are so happy to see it because we understand that representation matters. And each time we see ourselves reflected in all of our beauty and dopeness, I believe we're chipping away at the Africa void. So I hope you get to enjoy that. All right. So I'm about to answer y'all's questions. I just want to see who's in here. Oh yeah, okay, y'all. Thank you for adding questions. This is good. This is really good. Shout out to you, Darnell Clayton, for always. Oh, Monique Brewer's in the house. What's up, Monique? So glad to see you. Your code is here. All right, let me. Wendy doesn't like it when I go off on a tangent. All right, so let me see what questions you got here. Ask me anything. I hope there's nothing embarrassing in here. Okay. What's the first question? How did African Ancestry compile its database? Great question. So Dr. Kittles collaborated with researchers across the continent over a period of about 10, 11 years to collect samples. And he decided which populations to include in the database based on advice from historians and anthropologists and linguists. So that's how it was compiled. And it took a long time. What award did Michael win, Wendy? I missed it because I don't have my glasses on. Well, congratulate. Oh, September is African Heritage Month in Montgomery County. Well, congratulations, Michael. Soul in Motion. If you guys haven't seen Soul in Motion, you just have not seen some of the best African dancing and drumming on the East Coast. That's what I think. Okay, Koiva has a question. For the paternal DNA test, why can you not specify which African tribe some folks are from? If a result is European, can't you simply look at another branch and see the next kin in line? Thank you for that question, Koiva. So we are looking at a time period of 500 to 2,000 years. Katio Basau in the house. What's up? 500 to 2,000 years. And so when we find European ancestry on your paternal line, that means that your ancestry goes back to Europe, not to Africa. We can't make it African. And most likely that European ancestry is the result of a European man, a German, a Brit, a Frenchman, a Portuguese man, a Spanish man, having fathered a child, a son, with an enslaved African woman. When we look at the Y chromosome, which boys inherit from their fathers, that Y chromosome goes back to Europe, not Africa. So that's why we can't find an African tribe for some people, because their paternal lineage is not, genetically is not African. Okay, what's the next question? Does African Ancestry plan to diversify its kit offerings anytime soon? Yes, we do. Stay tuned. That's my answer to that one. Koiva says, speaking of land in Sierra Leone, there are rumors of free land being given to returnees at some point. Is African Ancestry aware of this, and is it a valid rumor? There is no institutionalized gifting of free land in Sierra Leone. That does not exist. Now, if people go and visit different communities, some people have been offered land, but that is not a countrywide program that is sponsored by any one particular organization. So that's that answer. What does the asterisk mean on the haplogroup? I always miss the answer. The asterisk. You know, I don't know. But Alexis, I will get the answer because I don't know the answer to that question. I'm sorry. Okay. Can I use another company's results to trace my African roots with African ancestry? It depends. It depends on whether or not the other company gave you an mtDNA haplogroup or a Y chromosome haplogroup. If you have received a haplogroup, then yes, you can take the African ancestry test because we already know that it's if you receive an African haplogroup, then you can take our test and we'll tell you where your ancestry on that lineage is from. But we can't use their data because they do a different type of testing. Other companies do admixture testing, which doesn't look specifically at mitochondrial DNA sequences or Y chromosome sequences. Now, if you've used another company that did give you an mtDNA sequence or a Y chromosome markers, then yes, we can tell you where you're from. And the fee for that is $200. So far, so good. There's only been one question I couldn't answer. Okay, if I could live in any African country, which would I choose? Ooh, Jonathan. I think I would probably, well, I don't know. I would want to choose Senegal. I would want to live in Senegal because the people are just beautiful. I love Senegalese food. It's just a beautiful country, so many beautiful areas. So I'm going to say Senegal. That's the first place I ever visited in Africa, so it's special to me. Do you offer discounts for people over 80? No, we do not offer discounts for people over 80. We do offer discounts for multiple kit purchases. And I want to offer this, that if someone's over 80, I think their family, they are probably a matriarch or a patriarch in the family. And I think that that would be a really nice gift for the family members to pitch in and buy an African ancestry test kit as a gift for the matriarch or patriarch who's over 80. But what I can tell you we are doing is we are sending hard copy results to our elders because we recognize that our elders are not necessarily computer savvy or, aren't online the way some of the rest of us are. And so we are doing that as a special gift to our elders. Darnell. Okay, Koiva, man. Koiva's keeping them coming. Aside from Sierra Leone, are there other African governments you are working with to try and facilitate DNA-based citizenship? I have heard Guinea is working on something quietly. We are not. So let me first be clear. We did not work with the Sierra Leonean government to give citizenship. That decision to give citizenship was motivated by African ancestry family members. There's, I think, a group of maybe 9 or so of them. They were lobbying the government to get citizenship. We stepped in to help authenticate it so that they wouldn't just be giving citizenship to anybody who said that they took our test or anybody who tried to manufacture a certificate. But the establishment of that was due not to our hard work, but to the hard work of African ancestry family members. So shout out to them. Now, we are not working with any other governments to facilitate that citizenship, but it is definitely on our radar. And when we do have audiences with decision makers, we do bring it up. Okay, Keisha's going to be ordering a test soon to trace her father's roots. How different is ancestry from African DNA? Do you mean African ancestry? Can you ask that question differently, Yolanda? Because I'm not sure I understand. I don't know who African DNA is. So if you ask that differently, we'll answer. Will African Ancestry have a reunion party for African Ancestry members here in the States to meet each other? Oh, Philip. Shout out to Philip McGowan. He was instrumental in helping us to trace the ancestry of Lauryn Hill. Stay tuned. Can't be giving away all my secrets, Philip. Stay tuned. I would like to have, let's put it this way. In my vision for the next year, we will be celebrating our 20th anniversary next year. And I would like to have an African Ancestry Family Reunion US. So I'm going to speak it. It's not a secret. Doesn't exist yet, but that's what I would like to happen. So we're working towards that, Philip. You over here reading my mind. What's my position on Black people who don't identify with Africa? So as I have said a gazillion times, identity is a constantly evolving narrative of self, and we get to be and identify however we want. So Black people who don't identify with Africa, that's their business. Who says Tabitha Brown? Doesn't she say something like that? She says that's my business. That's their business. We exist to help people dispel any of the negative stereotypes or negative propaganda that they've been fed that would lead to them not wanting to identify with Africa. So that's part of our company's mission. But I hope they change their mind. That's my position. I hope they change their mind. Philip said, manifested, Gina. Hey. Okay. Yes, Avanti. And I expect to see all of you who are here week after week with me holding it down. I expect to see all of you at an African Ancestry Family Reunion US. Okay, what else we got? Is it safe to go to Burkina Faso and Cameroon? Yes. We are traveling to Cameroon. We will not be any of the unrest that you've heard about has been in the far north of the country, and we will not be anywhere near northern Cameroon for that reason. So we have been told by the powers that be in Cameroon that it's safe to go there. I don't know what's going on with Burkina Faso right now, so I'm not sure about that. We don't have a trip planned, but I can put you in contact with someone who can answer that question for you if you Wendy, can you make a note of that question and I'll get the answer to him? Okay, so Yolanda, you're asking what's the difference between us? I'm going to answer this question. What's the difference between AfricanAncestry.com and Ancestry.com? Thank you for asking that question. I hope that was your question. We're different in many ways. First of all, we're the only Black-owned company in the industry. Black-owned, Black-founded, Black-funded, all Black staff. We use Black-owned businesses as our vendors and suppliers as much as possible. In fact, we had a show a couple of weeks ago, in August, a few weeks ago, that highlighted all of the Black businesses that we work with the exception of one. I left ATCO out. Shout out to Shana Atkins. So that's one way we're different. Another way we're different is that our mission is we're here for Black people. We're in the business of being Black. We are our target market. We're not in business for anybody else, just for them. We're just for y'all, just for us. We offer single lineage tests, which traces a single branch of your family tree, one branch at a time, either mother to mother to mother or father to father to father. Ancestry.com does admixture testing, which basically looks at all of your DNA, the DNA of all of the branches of your family tree mixed together. They provide percentages of different ancestries that make up who you are based on a database of African lineages that is fewer than 3,000 samples. We provide the present day, when your result is African, we provide the present day African country and ethnic group or groups that you share ancestry with. And ours is based on a database size of over 33,000 African samples. So we are firmly and squarely committed to African ancestry. Now, the results aren't always African. We can't make them African, but when it's not African, we tell you what it is. But you won't get any percentages here. And then the other major way that we're different is that we don't sell or share our customers' DNA. That's a huge difference. Since the inception of the company, we have not done that. We have been in the business longer than they have. We are, like I said, we're 19 years old right now. I think they started in maybe 2007 or so. So we are more established. And then they provide family matching, family relationship matching. And we don't do that. So if you're looking for a second or third cousin or to see if you have any other sisters or brothers out there, we are not the test for that. So those are the ways. Let me know if I missed anything, Darnell, because you know this stuff like the back of your hand. I received a recollection notice. What does that mean? We send out recollection notices when the lab is unable to extract enough DNA or quality DNA from your swab. So our test involves swabbing the inside of your cheek to collect the DNA. And when they can't extract enough, we ask you to recollect, so to redo your swabbing. Slows down the process somewhat. So we highly encourage you to please read and follow the directions. Now, sometimes, you do that and it still requires a recollection, but most of the time, people just aren't reading the directions. Is African Ancestry doing anything for the next Black Panther movie? Why, yes, we are. Stay tuned. Nicole. Shout out to Wendy and Jasmine on our team, and they're cooking something up for y'all. Koiva says, for many Sierra Leone returnees, what is wrong with my reading today? They are looking for legit land to purchase to build a home. Is African Ancestry looking for a way to streamline this process with the Sierra Leonean government? No, we are not. We're not getting involved in any of those types of transactions. We're not having any involvement in that process. We tell you where you're from. We'll get you there. We'll introduce you to people who have, maybe resources for you to vet and make decisions on what to do, but we're not getting involved in any government processes. I just submitted my swabs. When can I expect my results? You can expect your results within 8 to 10 weeks, approximately, of submitting your swabs, us receiving your swabs. So you activate your kit online. Please, everybody, please remember to activate your kit. There's no personally identifying information when you send your swabs to the lab. You are a barcode number. If you send your swabs to the lab and don't activate, we don't know who you are. So please, please, please read the instructions. What if someone else swaps their DNA for somebody else? How would you know? I wouldn't. We wouldn't have any way of knowing that. Kwame, thank you for that question. Once I submit my samples, I can throw away my kit ID. Is this a fact or whack? That would be whack. No, do not throw away your kit ID. That is how we identify you in our system. If you throw away your kit ID and you send your swabs to the lab and then you haven't activated, we can't help you. If you throw away your kit ID and you have some questions, it's going to take us a lot longer to try and find you than it would if you just could give us your kit ID number. So please don't throw it away. Please keep it. Take a picture of it with your phone, and then you're good. John Boney says, my cousin and I received our matrilineal African ancestry results in 2004. Can I still order certificates from my mother's side of the family with their names on them? Absolutely, you can. And I think that that's a wonderful idea. They will love them. The certificates are $15 each, and you can get them at AfricanAncestry.com. Wendy, if you could put the link in there for Jamboni, that would be great. Yeah, you can just go online, and they're called printed certificates for you and family members. You just put your name as a test taker, put your kid ID number, and then you fill in the names that you want for each certificate. You have, if you want 10 certificates, you can't just put in 10 names and select quantity of 1. If you select quantity of 1, we're going to ask you which one of those 10 names do you want a certificate for. It seems kind of basic, but people often make that mistake. So I just wanted to give you that heads up. Simi Davis, Simi sings. Oh, nice. If my 92-year-old mother refuses to swab her cheeks and my father is deceased, I am female. What can you find out? Oh, who's got the answer for Simi? Simi, you can trace your maternal line using your own DNA. So you don't need your mom to get the maternal line. And then if your father is deceased, and I'm sorry to hear that, you can use any male relative on that side who's a descendant from a male. So you could use one of your father's brothers, one of your father's brother's sons. You could use your grandfather. You could use your brother or your brother's son. You can also, if your father only had sisters, you can trace your father's maternal line using your aunt or one of your aunt's children. You're welcome, Jamboni. Hey, and thanks so much for what you have done as far as citizenship in Sierra Leone. You're welcome. My question is, should I have the maternal or paternal? So, John, it's really up to you. I suggest that if you're only going to do one, you start with the matriclan test, the maternal, because there's a 92% chance that your result will come back African. So I would start there. But as a man, you can do either. The chances of it being African on your paternal side are 65%. So 35% of those results come back European, and then people are mad at me. And I don't want you to be mad at me, John. So whether you look like Wesley Snipes or Mariah Carey, there's still a 35% chance that your paternal ancestry is European. So just keep that in mind. Darnell Clayton. How can someone order a custom African ancestry heirloom pendant with their tribe and country results? I love it. So we do. Thank you. We do have heirloom pendants online at our store, AfricanAncestry.com/shop or shop.AfricanAncestry.com. And we have several countries, the most popular countries listed, but if you don't see your country listed, we can make that pendant for you. You just have to hit us up at customer service. Shout out to Deshaun Gandy, who's our premier customer service manager. Deshaun or any one of our team members, Tasia, Sharma, Angie, Gabby, Journey, can help you place that order. Ebony, I feel like I need my glasses. How can a person look for a great-grandparent who was born in the early 1900s in Georgia? I hear in some instances you can. It just depends. So, Ebony, this is a question that I cannot answer because I don't do genealogy. I have very little genealogy expertise. But what I can tell you is that there's an organization called the Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society. Its acronym is AAHGS, AAHGS.org. And they are a national organization of Black genealogists. So there's someone probably in your city who can help you. You can also go to the library, and often libraries have a family search center. So there may be at your main library, there may be someone there that can help you with that. Koiva. I have heard from someone who took the test many years ago that when their sibling took the test last year, that they got different results. Can you explain why that is? So that does happen occasionally when people have taken the test at the very beginning. We were founded in 2003. And so we have had occasional instances where due to a database increase, we see certain ethnic groups that the result changes. And it most often happens when the original result was not a 100% match. So we offer something called a sequence similarity score. The sequence similarity score is basically our confidence level, our level of confidence in the answer we're giving you, in the result we've given you. So if it's a 100% match, it's not going to change. But if it's a 99.4% chance match, then that means there's a 0.6% chance that it's something else. So that's how that happens. It doesn't happen often. King Joseph, do I have any plans to work with the Guinea-Bissau government so you can make a trip? Shout out to Katio Bissau. So I know that there are people on the ground in Guinea-Bissau who are organizing trips, and we definitely are considering Guinea-Bissau because that is one of the countries that we find results from most often. Okay, Yolanda, good stuff, good stuff. So yeah, we don't have any firm plans right now, but it's definitely on our list. Yes, Menelik, there are AA face masks in stock. What country do you need? Let me know what country you need, because we actually found a few that weren't online. Soul in Motion will celebrate 40 years in 2024. 40 years. I thought we were doing something. Listen, you guys, can we put some hand claps in the chat for Soul in Motion, your Sierra Leonean cousin Michael Friends dance and drum organization? 40 years. Wow. That's amazing. Talk about educating us and helping us to transform the way we view ourselves. They're doing that through cultural arts. And thank you for the hand claps. Will African Ancestry join us as the African culture is alive in the city of Loiza? Pretty please. Hey, you don't have to ask me twice to go to Puerto Rico. Let's go. Let's go. That's right. Keep the hand claps coming. Am I entitled? Oh, is this a factor whack? Some of these are factor whacks. You are not entitled to a refund if we are unable to match your ancestry. That's only happened 4 times. We will discuss what we can do if we're unable to match your ancestry in that rare instance. But you're not automatically entitled to a refund. Am I learning any full food day? No, I'm not. I'm not. Dag, you just made me feel kind of bad. No, I'm not learning. Look, I'm trying to make sure y'all find out where you're from. I don't have time to be learning any languages. Can a sister-in-law of the person who took the test go on a reunion trip? Yes, your sister-in-law can come. She is welcome, as long as she comes with you. It's a family reunion. All family is welcome. Do I have any concerns about traveling to Sierra Leone next year as the citizens vote for a new president? I don't, but we are working, we're working closely with them on the timing of the trip so that it makes sense, Joseph. So we will not go at a time when it doesn't make sense. Sharon started her family tree over 10 years ago. The slim information she collected slipped away from her. She doesn't really know where to begin now. A genealogy class or an African ancestry test. Well, you know what my vote's going to be, Sharon. I don't know. Deshaun's on the chat. Deshaun, what's your vote? Do you think she should start with a genealogy class or an African ancestry test? I think it really just depends on what your primary goal is, Sharon. If your primary goal is to learn about the branches of the tree, then start with a genealogy class. But if your primary goal is to get back to Africa and then work on your family tree, then take our test first. That's what I would say. I will be going on the Cameroon trip, Stephanie. You coming? You coming, Stephanie? I'll be there. We went to Cameroon in 2010 with 54 Camericans, and then we went back in 2011 with 92 Camericans. So it will be 12 or 11 and a half years since I have been there. So I'm looking forward to going back. I am eligible for a refund up to 60 days from the original purchase date. Yes, you are. As long as you haven't used the test and you haven't sent your swabs once you send your swabs to the lab, it's a wrap. And you have to return the test to us before we will issue the refund. For Sierra Leone, I just want to say COIVA is representing hard for y'all for Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone returnees who got their citizenship, do you have any services to help them afterwards? For example, help them start a business in Sierra Leone while abroad, open business bank accounts, etc. So when you travel with on an African ancestry family reunion, we do have a dinner where we invite other business owners, Sierra Leonean business owners, and attorneys, people like that, for you to network with. But that we just bring some people to the table for you to decide whether or not you want to do business with them. We do not help you open a business bank account or anything like that. We just kind of help get you there and introduce you to a few folks so that you can have one foot into the mix, but then our job is done. Woo! Y'all came with the questions. I think only 2 that I couldn't answer. And thank you for not asking me any embarrassing questions. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do want to go to Nigeria. We actually have something cooking, so hopefully I'll get to go. Not an AAFR, but okay. So y'all, oh wait, I gotta go back to my notes. I done lost my notes, Wendy. La 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 la. Okay. All right. So every week, I don't need notes for this. We play a game called Fact or Whack. So we're gonna put up so Sean, we do not have any Bioko Island pendants because it's an island. And so our heirloom pendant is the map of Africa. And then we highlight the countries with hand enamel in different colors. But because Bioko Island's not attached to the continent, we don't have a pendant for y'all. I wonder. But now, Sean, would you be interested in a pendant that was just in the shape of Bioko Island? Let me do some market research here. So anybody who is in the comments whose ancestry is Bioko Island, let me know if you'd be interested in a silver pendant that looks like the heirloom pendant with this, it's silver or gold or platinum, hey, however you want to do it, with the fingerprint on it. But it's in the shape of Bioko Island because we can't add it to the continent. Let me know. All right. So fact or whack is when we put up a statement and then you have to tell me whether you think it's a fact or whether you think it's whack. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Okay, let's go. You can bring the African ancestry identity experience to your community. Is that fact or whack? The African ancestry identity experience is when we come into, when we talk about, we present, I really do know what it is, y'all. It's been a long day. We present information about the historical context of genetic ancestry tracing for Black people, the scientific context, and the cultural context. So do you think that you can bring that to your community? Is that fact or whack? I knew y'all would get this one right. It is absolutely a fact. We we'll go anywhere just about. We've been at corporations. This year alone, we must have spoken to about 10 corporations. I mean, big companies, small companies. We've been in churches, we've been in masjids, we've been at festivals, we've been at award shows, we've been at the Links, we've been with the Alphas. So we're available to come speak to your organization. And what a lot of organizations do is they test a few people in advance, and then we do a reveal during the event, or they test a lot of people in advance, and then we even do the African Ancestry Identity Experience in Africa. Just came back from Ghana in August we revealed 70 people who traveled with the NAACP as part of the Amos Brown Fellowship. Excellent. I'm glad there were no WACs on here. I love it. Okay. Delia says, we need a necklace. Bioko Island. Okay, African Ancestry will celebrate its 15th anniversary in 2023. Is that fact or is that a whack statement? What say y'all? Is African Ancestry celebrating its 15th anniversary next year? Oh, look at all the whacks. Man, I'm giving y'all softballs tonight. You're welcome. I love it. I love y'all. I really do. Wiggity whack, Deshaun. Okay. We're celebrating 20 years on February 21st, 2023. All those 20s. We turned 20 on the 21st of 2023. That's right. And we're going to celebrate all year long. So get ready. Look at Darnell. I'm telling you, Darnell is, he is the first African Ancestry ambassador. Okay. The oldest person in the family should be the one to take an African Ancestry test. Fact or whack? Monique, you're right, but people don't always pay attention and people come in later. So I had to just see if y'all were listening. The oldest person in the family should be the one to take an African Ancestry test. Man, you guys are my soldiers. You are my soldiers. Yes, that is whack. Who came up with such a whack statement? That would be me. We've had babies take the test. We've had someone as old as 107 take the test. Because we are tracing a lineage, it doesn't matter whether it's the oldest person, someone in between, the youngest. The results are the same for everybody in the family on that branch of the tree. So it doesn't matter who takes it. And that's what makes this such, whoever asked the question about how we're different from Ancestry.com, that's another way we're different. With Ancestry.com tests, you can only share those results with people with whom you share both parents. So your results aren't going to be the same as your mother's results. They're not going to be the same as your father's results. They're not going to be the same as your half sibling, genetically half sibling. I know you probably consider them full sibling because they're your people. But with our test, one test answers the question for an entire family line. So take that $299 divided by the number of people you're going to share the results with and tell each of them to give you that amount of money. Okay, African Ancestry is the only company that can provide a present-day African country and ethnic group or groups. Is that fact or whack? What say you? Okay, Keisha, I'm glad you were here. We're about to roll out anyway. Yes, okay, I see all these facts. I can't pull one over on y'all to save my life. I'm so proud of you guys, making me look good up here. That is a fact. I've forgotten the question now that fast, but the answer, it was a fact. Whatever the statement was, it was a fact. Oh my goodness, I've had a lot of fun. I don't know if y'all could tell. I hope you've had a good time too. If you've had a good time too, put a smiley face in the chat and let me know that you had a good time. I thank you for being here. Head on over to travel.africanancestry.com to learn more about how you can come with us to Cameroon, or you can slide into that Ghana trip. If you're watching us on the replay, thank you for coming back. Shout out to you, Lisa, when you get here. I'll put a double helix in the comments. Show us some love. Let us know you're here. Don't forget to enter to win your free test kit. Y'all can't say I never gave you something. I'm giving you the chance. Getting 5 chances to win. Actually, if you do all these different things, you get more and more chances. So we give you like 6 different chances, entries. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Fancy contests. Thank you, Wendy, for putting the special giveaway link in the chat again. Go ahead and don't forget to turn on your notifications, because we got something special for up our sleeve for next week's show. If you've been tuning in, then you'll remember back in July when Deshaun Gandy, who I told you already is our premier customer experience manager, he shared his most recent genealogical discovery of finding his African-born ancestor on a census record. So for that sister who asked about finding records of before the 1900s in Georgia, it's possible because Deshaun has done it. Well, he actually also found a 74-year-old cousin named Mr. Edward Malcolm. I think we were calling him Cousin Edward on the show. He's one of only 2 living direct descendants of this African-born ancestor. And we're going to reveal his ancestry results right here live next week. Listen, I don't know. I don't know if you really understand how unusual this is. One, that Deshaun was able to locate the African-born ancestor through genealogy research. That in and of itself is an amazing accomplishment. But then to have a direct descendant who's living, he was able to locate that person. It gives me chills. So I'm looking forward to that. You can go back and check out that episode so that you're all caught up on the amazing story to see what the power of genealogy plus DNA technology can do to fill or help fill the African void, the Africa void. All right. I think that's what I got for y'all. There's Cousin Malcolm. He's going to be here with us. Again, I say it all the time, and I really do mean it. Thank you so very much for joining me every Wednesday that you're able to be here. And every time you look at the replay, I really appreciate it. Shout out to Wendy, who is our Facebook producer. She puts a lot of care and attention to detail in these shows, and then what she shares after the show. So thank you, Wendy, for that. And for all the rest of you, until we meet again next Wednesday, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be whole. Have a very good night.
I wanna know ya, Cameroon, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, gotta let me show ya, Nigeria.